Welcome to the
Shortest intro ever.
I love it.
I've heard that
Welcome
on an
to
elevator before.
NPR. I mean, it makes us sound so distinguished and stuff.
indeed. Yes.
Indeed, yes.
That's very
Shallow and pedantic.
Shallow and
shallow and
pedantic.
pedantic.
Friends become enemies. Enemies become friends.
Become friends.
Yeah.
Maybe a little better off for it.
So Sinead O'Connor's dead. Who's got money on suicide?
Oh, I guarantee it was. She was diagnosed as bipolar like 10 years ago, and then her son committed suicide like a year and a half ago, and it fucked her up pretty bad. So it's either going to be suicide or drug overdose, which I count the same thing.
Natural causes.
Natural causes. Murdered by the fucking Catholic Church. So.
Well, I mean, if you're murdered by the Catholic Church, then naturally you die. That's kind of how that works. So it's still natural causes.
It's
Bled out.
Naturally.
Your heart, you bled out. Your heart couldn't pump anything, and your brain didn't get oxygen, and you died from natural causes.
Naturally, you died. Yeah. I think she got big like in '87. So I was like 13, and I remember I watched the episode of Saturday Night Live where she's singing. I don't know if it was "Nothing Compares" or the other song she had that I can't remember, but she tore up a picture of the Pope, and dude, that was like big fucking shit back then, man. That sent ripples. It was, I mean, looking back at it now, it was tame as fuck. But she was like protesting the Catholic Churches. Well, I mean, she was basically saying, "Hey, they're molesting children and shit." So, and plus she's Irish, and there's been some contention there between the old Irish car bomb. So yeah, it was a big deal.
Is that a thing?
What, the Irish car bomb?
No,
the Irish. What?
Like Irish versus the Catholic Church. Is that a thing?
It's a thing. Yeah. It's a little bit. Well, the Irish, hold on, let me make sure that I'm saying this right. It's the Irish and I think Protestants or something.
Yeah, so they're on the same side as the Catholics.
Sounds right.
Yeah,
they're good friends.
Yeah, the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, Anglo-Irish War, Republican Army, British forces, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Yeah, I think it was like a civil war. I don't know. The Irish are a funny group. We're a funny people, us Irish. And I'm pretty far removed, and I'm still kind of funny. So
yeah, why can't you be normal like us Scottish folk?
Why don't you have a O in front of your last name, like "Oh shithead" or something?
Shaughnessy.
Funny thing, if there was an O in my last name, I would be a wealthy banker. But no, I had to go with the A and not the O.
I like so Robbie O. Caldwell.
No.
Robbie O. Coldwell.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Banker. Gotcha.
Robbie O. Caldwell. Yeah, the famous
Caldwell.
O. Caldwell.
The O. Caldwell, yeah. The O. Caldwell bankers.
C,
senor.
At least I'm not Jason Al Dente or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, that dude. That's so. There's something called the Streisand effect, and Mr. Aldean is definitely. So the Streisand effect is basically like if someone tells you not to look at something or do something or say something, you're immediately going to do it. And so that song has been out for months and wasn't even written by him. Like most country music, it was written by a fucking group of ghostwriters. And nobody has said a fucking word about it until all of a sudden, hey, this, you're not allowed to listen to this song. Anyway, they were talking about it at work today. The listenership of that song has gone up like 998% um, since since the controversy over it. Right? Good job, guys. Good job. You
I don't
got it.
know. I just know I chose a very poor time to reactivate Facebook. Oh, what the fuck is this shit? And why should I care about some Jason Aldean? Wow, this is the first time I've ever heard of you. Are just making the controversy up.
He had a song that I covered in a band. I started singing in a band when I was in Alabama for a short period of time, and I can't remember the name of it. It was a decent little song, but again, I'm sure it was written by ghostwriters. Country music nowadays, dude, fucking kills me. Because it's like,
I wish it would kill them. Oh, I mean, yeah, same.
it's got it's got a couple of buzzwords that they use, and like this motherfucker's like, you're riding my tractor, and he's wearing $3,000 fucking boots, and it's like talking about the working man and the working class and all this shit. Most of these motherfuckers ain't ever seen a hard day's work. It ain't the country that it was, dude. Country 40 years ago was pretty decent in my opinion. Like I grew up on Conway Twitty. And Dolly Parton and people like that. And I actually like some of that old outlaw country music.
I
But the
saw
stuff,
this. I saw this meme, and it was like, this new folk indie music is just country music for people that don't like police. And I was like, well, country music used to be for people that don't like
didn't like the
police.
police. Yeah, absolutely. It was outlaw country. Um, hell, look at the lyrics of Dukes of Hazzard. The
That
Waylon
was
Jennings.
that's what got me back into country and folk music was COVID. Just felt nostalgic for the shit that I grew up listening to. My parents, I think it was
Mm-hmm.
called like Country Gold Saturday Night.
Mm-hmm.
And 70s and 80s country music, with the exception of David Allan Coe, is it's pretty entertaining. It's an actual story as opposed to like the meme I sent the other day. Truck go vroom and gun go boom. I'm Christian white nationalist, and here we are.
Yeah. I'm seeing a woman and she says, "I love country music." Yeah, we're not going to get along. So, because I can't stand new country. And like you said, it does have a message. Now, whether or not that song was meant to be a racist tirade, I listened to the song. I honestly think it's a weak argument.
I don't
Um,
think it was the song itself. I think everybody had problems with the fact they used Black Lives Matters protest, and I think they used the courthouse where one of the guys were hanged.
Yeah, they used it like a lynching site in the music
Yeah,
video.
yeah, I
But
think.
good luck finding a place in the South where someone wasn't lynched to shoot a music video.
Yeah,
no, man,
I mean,
states' rights, states' rights.
at some point, and
Yeah.
you've got and you're probably right. It was probably the video that really, and I guess his argument was, it's all actual news footage. Well, yeah, it is, but I think artists, especially bigger artists, you have a responsibility to be careful about what you say and do because there's a lot of nut jobs out there that really can misconstrue um, things. And I know you can't be held responsible for it necessarily. I'm not saying that they should be held responsible, but I think you should be careful. You got to be careful when you're in that position, what you say and what you do, because there are people that are mentally unhealthy, emotionally unhealthy, and they pay way too much fucking attention, excuse me, to what you say and what you do. But his demographic, he ain't gonna lose no record sales. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think he
just,
convinced anyone to be racist.
No, no. I don't think there are people that
that's
were like on the fence about whether or not they should be racist shitheads.
lessons in pandering.
Right, exactly. as I said, he'll make more money and fans. There are people that had never heard of Jason Aldean that heard, saw the controversy, and nowadays it's all about. And I said something about this a couple of years ago. If somebody else's pain brings you joy, you're kind of a fuckhead. And if you're like, oh, I don't give a fuck about anything they say or do, I hate liberals, right, or I hate conservatives, you're part of the problem, right? And that's what gets me is, oh well, if me liking this song or going to see this movie pisses off a liberal, then I'm going to go do it. Well, then you're part of the problem because you're just
You can be a hard L, you can be a hard R.
right, exactly.
But
And I'm not a
anything to the
fan.
extreme's rarely a good thing.
We
That's
got to
my
stop
opinion.
saying hard R on the podcast, guys.
Do we though? Do we?
No, I guess not.
Do we? Until somebody asks us what we mean, do we? So, um, for the record, for clarity, we're referring to the word Republican, which actually is.
Well, like I said, you can be a hard L too.
You can be a hard L. So, which would that be a hard D?
Yeah, that's a hard D. That's
Yeah.
where you read my freaking mind.
Good call. Good
Trust
call.
me. If I know of one thing that's on Doug's mind, it's the hard D.
All right, enough dicking around.
Guilty as charged.
How you doing?
Yeah, I think anytime extremism gets into anything, it fucks it up. It makes it all fucked up, man. That's why I fucking hate politics nowadays. Just fuck politics in general. It's all bullshit.
This is going to sound very weird for me to say, but
Doubt.
but you live a very boring life if your whole existence is to piss off other people, and that's the only thing that you ever want to do.
Yeah,
I know that's hypocritical for me to say.
Yeah, coming from you, that's kind of hard to swallow. Almost like the hard D.
All I'm saying is that I'm a boring person.
It's your well, the thing about politics is that if you have beliefs, whatever, and you can have discussions and maybe change your beliefs, that's one thing. But when you make them your personality, you're not going to listen to shit, right? And if your whole life, right, is revolved around pissing off that other side, you're never going to listen. You're never going to learn. You're never going to grow. So I don't have much use for you, I guess, at that point. So it's become such a fucking shit show, dude. So
as I was saying, after about not even a full week, I'm already regretting my choice to reactivate Facebook. And
I use it to plan Jeep trips with friends. So it's about the extent of it.
Yeah, I've just learned to avoid the whole timeline and hide everybody in it.
There you go. I like deleting people. Didn't you delete me on Facebook? Yeah, I did. Why? Well, you're kind of a dick. So setting boundaries and being honest with people has been a lot of fun over the last year. So I can't lie and say I don't enjoy it a little bit. So
Well, no, it's good for my mental health to establish boundaries like that.
Speaking of boundaries, did anyone watch the congressional hearing thing on UFOs yesterday?
I could tell you if I watched it, if we were in a skiff together right now.
Perfect.
That's good. That's good.
As I stated in my public interview, yes, I did watch it. So it was really fascinating, and it brought up a lot of conversation at work. And it's fun that most of the people that are just completely against the idea of alien life forms, and I'm sure this is a complete coincidence, all tend to be those white Christian nationalists that we spoke of earlier, right? And I think it's because the idea of aliens kind of blows their little black book away, right? But it doesn't. See, that's the thing is, in my opinion, it doesn't. Because if you have a God and he's creating life, it never says in the Bible that you're the only fucking planet that he did, or that you're the only life forms that he made, right? It never says that, to my knowledge. It's been 40 fucking years since I've read the Bible.
All I
Um,
know is that it says that if a man lays with a man like he lays with the woman, then he must be stoned. And I was like, hell yeah.
oh yeah, I mean, it's not gay if you're high.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's not. That's how that works. Um, so I think that
Well,
I don't think that it's mutually exclusive. I don't think that it says that, but that really bugs them for some reason.
well, it just you know how that goes, and it goes back to the politics thing that we were talking about earlier, and it almost doesn't matter what it is if it's perceived to be supported by a side. If it's on your side, then you're like, oh, this thing that I was completely unaware of before, I'm all about it because my side supports it. And if it's on the other side, it does not matter what it is as well.
Right. And
They'll be against it.
that goes back to your extremism, right? And why
Yep.
that ruins politics, because you can't ever get. But what was interesting, if you guys, and I know you guys watched it, and I'm sure you noticed this, is that was a bipartisan panel. You had Matt
Yes.
Gaetz, you had Ocasio, which I'm pretty sure those two are fucking in the background. Um, and all of them seemed very pro to the idea that, there's been UFOs and shit. I believe there has been. Um, we've talked about
Yeah.
Dr. Stephen Greer on the podcast before, I think, and I highly recommend. He's got some documentaries on Amazon Prime, I think it is. And
Don't do it. Don't do it. He's a scam artist. Don't watch him.
don't you dare call him a
He
scam.
dropped two flares out of a plane and told everyone they were UFOs. And then he
What
made
would
an then he made an institute called SETI, so everyone would think it was affiliated with SETI.
where are you getting this information,
He
sir?
says he can summon aliens, and he's the only one who can do it if
Well,
you pay
he's
him
never said that.
$8,000.
He's
Dude, he
no,
says it all the time. Yes, he
no,
says that
no.
he said, yeah, they abducted me and I met with them and we made an agreement that now I can summon them at will at any
I've
time.
never. You're gonna have to provide proof, sir.
I will. But he
Never
did
heard.
say that, and I was like, I don't. This guy sounds like he's from North Carolina. That's all I'm saying.
Somehow I knew it was coming back to that.
Hey, y'all, just pay me $8,000 and I introduce you to ET.
Tay, yeah.
His
Well,
organization is called
despite
CSETI. It's also called CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Just to have a
because it's one better than the third
Shit. Plus one.
plus one. Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind plus one. Well, despite Adam's erroneous comments, I think that I like watching him because he has a lot of documentation. But it's when you watch some of the people he gets into these documentaries, by the end of it, you're going, all right, okay. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, I believe all of it, but there's big chunks that just make sense. And in Doug, we've talked about I was asking somebody today, because what they were talking about was the Silurian hypothesis. They just didn't know that that's what they were talking about. They were talking about Atlantis and things existing long before, modern archaeologists, present day archaeologists, or whatever the phrase was.
Mainstream
Mainstream.
archaeologists.
That's it.
I was
Sorry.
about to say,
Mainstream
if you watch that documentary, you heard that phrase about 186,000 times, because I don't think he could go 3 minutes without saying mainstream archaeologist. That was my only pet peeve about the entire thing. And
no, I get
it's
it.
like,
Shit
dude,
like that
I get
wears
it.
on me. Right.
Yeah.
Mainstream archaeologist. We can skip that now. Just say them. So the Silurian hypothesis is basically a theory that an advanced life form, be it human or otherwise, existed on this planet long before humans or modern day technology, right? And that we've just never found any of their stuff because we live on a giant ball of molten nonsense in a middle of a vacuum. And like, when you think about it like that, it really puts shit into perspective for me. And mainstream archaeologists don't like that idea. They say it's inconceivable was one of the words I saw used. I was like, wow. because you just can't say that without thinking about the Princess Bride. Inconceivable. Um, but I think that it is conceivable. I think it is that there's potential for it. I mean, and if it's the documentary I think you're talking about, Doug, it's the one you turned me on to, where the guy goes in and he shows different like remnants and stuff that can't really be explained, and things that have been dated that can't be explained
Right.
with there's a place out in like Machu Picchu or something. It's this giant settlement that just predates fucking everything, and the
Go
architecture is just way more advanced than anything else that they found even after that.
Gobekli Tepe, I think was the name
Is
of
that
it.
it? The one, yeah, the one I'm talking about, the big on top of the mountain or whatever.
Well,
And
yeah, this one wasn't the one that was, because they did some stuff that was on top of a mountain, but those were aligned to look at certain regions of stars,
oh yeah,
and
that was
as
the
the
other thing.
stars realigned, they built new ones.
Yeah,
So you wound up with this weird freaking complex of, they were just basically watching this one particular section of sky.
yeah.
um, Now, the Göbekli Tepe,
I think I dated
that
her in high
had,
school.
yeah, that
She was
it
Italian.
was approximately 12,000 years ago, which would predate Babylon, Samaria, which, archaeology kind of planted its flag in that and said,
What kind of archaeology, Doug?
this, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to hear it again. They archaeology sort of planted their flag, with Babylon and Samaria, saying that was the start of civilization.
Like modern
But
civilization.
right, but the that particular Netflix documentary, it basically said that some of this crap is a repeating cycle,
Hmm.
and you know, we build up civilization, some sort of natural disaster happens, it tears it all down, and then, just through the course of survival and, what people have available, you sort of lose that knowledge, lose that technology, you start all over again. And it's been a repeating cycle for quite some time. And their hypothesis was based on the Younger Dryas period, where, apparently there's a particular region of space that we go through like once every 12 to 15,000 years or so, that
Oh,
has a
cool.
lot of asteroid debris, what have you.
Gotcha.
So we get more strikes. So their theory is, okay, we built civilization, we did things, blah, 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 blah. And, the society would get advanced enough to the point where they knew the shit was coming. They would take certain measures to preserve themselves, but planet wide catastrophe, if you're the schmuck in a bunker and you know how to rebuild civilization and all of that, you go out to a new group of people. They're sitting there living in the freaking, mud huts, grass
Hmm.
huts, don't know how to farm, don't know how to do any of the above. You show them how to do that. And that restarts civilization.
Well, and I've heard the argument that, well, how would you just forget a civilization like that exists? And first of all, you're talking right 12,000 years. Second of all, go ask go ask teenagers now or people in their early 20s. Go ask them about World War II. Go ask them specifics about World War II. Go ask them specifics about the Holocaust. There are plenty of young adults that cannot answer basic questions who were involved, like who was the Axis, who was the Allies, except etc. So if in today's world with information everywhere at your fingertips, history over 100 years can fade out of people's minds, then yes, you can completely lose the knowledge over 12,000 fucking years. Right? I mean, I think there's
And if anybody's having a problem with that, here, the classic one, because you'll constantly see videos and clickbait shit that's like, uh, technologies that mankind has forgotten. And you'll
Mm-hmm.
see things included in the list like Greek fire, um, like the dodecahedrons that they find in Rome, Italy, places like that. They all have different size holes and knobs on the side,
Yeah, they
and
do.
nobody can fucking explain what they're used for.
Right.
And we have the internet, we have scholars that study all of this kind of shit all day long. But because somebody who knew what was going on didn't pass that knowledge along, or that society died out or went in decline, and then things get buried, and that knowledge is forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, if you scorch the fucking Earth a couple of times with an asteroid impact, a solar flare, fucking who knows, man? Nuclear war, who knows?
It's kind of
Um,
like the three seashells. Nobody really knows how they
Nobody
work.
really knows, right? So Taco Bell. Um, I think that it's human arrogance. I think the idea that none of that could exist, we would know. None of these aliens can exist because we would know. How do we know the aliens aren't us from 12,000 years ago? Bounced to another planet, and oh well, because we can't travel that fast. No, we can't. So, but somebody might be able to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Electron engines, folding space. We don't physics. The shit we know about physics now. Uh, 10,000 years from now may change completely as you find new minerals and new technology and new things. Um, I just think it's hubris on the part of humanity, and it's why over the last several we've been on this planet. If the planet's existence as we know it, we're a clock. We've been on the face of the planet for about 4 fucking seconds, and yet somehow we've wiped out several hundred different species. I mean, we're
Well,
human beings in general are not real fantastic. If we were another race looking at the planet from a objective point of view, we would probably think that humans were pretty shitty. Um, I'm
well,
just saying.
that's what I want to know more than anything. Um, is okay, let's say that aliens are a thing and we found out a whole bunch of shit yesterday.
Mhm.
Um, that, let's just say, as opposed to in the world where, as opposed to the guy who is a former intelligence officer who was up there along with two other people, um, let's say that aliens actually showed up for the freaking hearing. I would
Hell
be
yeah.
really curious what they would say about humanity.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine it would be positive because we kill each other. You think about it, right? Water is free, land is free, food is free, shelter with a little bit of labor is free, and yet somehow we have monetized and commoditized all of it because of greed. You know, I just don't see humans. Well, we're curing cancer. We're causing cancer. I mean, there's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, so that we can cure it.
so that we can cure it and make lots of money. Exactly. If you watch those
So we
stupid
are the
years
cancer?
episodes, do what?
So we are the cancer?
No,
Well,
I
I
was
mean,
born in September.
so
Get
you're a
out.
Virgo, yeah.
Libra,
Um,
right on the
Libra.
cusp.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're at the end of September. Um, if you look at those documentaries, one of the things that a lot of these like Air Force or these military witnesses that they have, there have been several claims that UFOs tend to like to uh, meander around nuclear uh, devices, nuclear weapons, things like that,
And disarm them and
and
shit.
disarm them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, there's been several instances where they've been told that, they're sitting there and all of a sudden the entire nuclear arsenal just goes into this unresponsive state. That when the aliens are around, they just shut down nuclear silos. Um, Now, these could also be human beings that have alien technology or just fucking around to see what they can do. But if they are extraterrestrials, if they are aliens, it's interesting that their first thought is to shut down the nuclear weapons, right? And again, if these are human beings that left the planet 12, 15, 20,000 years ago, maybe they know what we did with nukes once already. Like, yeah, we've been around this block. We know what these do. You need to shut these the fuck down. Um, I'm curious as to how it all plays out. Like I said, even if it is human technology that has been reverse engineered or is just being played out a little bit, we still know then that aliens exist. Um, I I'm real curious to see what happens because just like with politics, you're uneducated. You're going to have both sides, right? You're going to have, like in the movies where there's the people I think it's Independence Day, where they're standing on the side of the street with the signs that say "Take me," and shit like that, and just love the aliens. Oh, I want to love the aliens. They're smarter than us. And then you're going to have the uneducated backwoods fucking rednecks that would treat them like they do any other minority. So um, it'll be curious to see how the planet reacts. But I, I was in Uray. I was in the San Juan Mountains, and for one of the nights around 10 o'clock, we went up to the top of one of the peaks just to see the stars. And I'm standing there looking out into the Milky Way, and you look out in that, and the idea, if every star is a sun, right, and that's what I was always taught, of varying sizes. You look at that and you see how many fucking suns are out there, and you go, there's just no way we're it. And again, and I've said this 1,000 times, if humanity is the peak of existence, God failed. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Um,
Well, I mean, if you want to look into it, um, something, a fairly simple concept. Um, you got Venus and you got the Earth. We're pretty relatively close. And we've got a lot of the same building blocks. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of evidence that at one time there was there was water on Venus.
mhm.
Now currently, it's because of where it is. It's thick crust.
Crusty.
It's relatively slow rotation because if you count a rotation along the axis of a planet as a day, one day on Venus takes like 243 Earth days, if I
Mhm.
remember right.
Sounds
Uh,
right.
and and since it doesn't rotate, it's just getting beat up with the sun all the time. It got all its water boiled off. It doesn't have a terribly strong magnetic field, which just basically blew all the water off out into space. Um, and literally because we have that rotating liquid iron core,
Mhm.
that we've got this nice big magnetic field. We got smacked by another cosmic body early on, which basically formed a moon, which helped with tides and everything else. It's just a few, kind of like DNA. You flip this one gene this way or one gene that way, and drastic shit happens. Well,
Sure.
you just change a couple of those conditions, and we're this, we're a planet that's built for life. And the only thing, if there's any life on Venus, it's extremophiles. You
Right. It
know,
wouldn't be carbon-based mammal humans running around.
no, you might have some microorganisms or something that's very deep in the crust, but the whole planet's hot as shit. So
But
God
over
forbid,
time, but over time, over tens of thousands or millions of years or whatever,
and billions and yeah,
sure,
yeah,
something not carbon based, but something sentient could come out of that at some point, or could fucking be there already for all we know. Um, and that's, we're a big chemistry experiment, right? Chemistry, gravity, biology, whatever. And I just think that maybe it's not life as we know it, or it's not like, I mean, we've come up with all these ideas of what aliens look like in critters and creatures. And of course, we have absolutely no fucking idea um, what that, like you said, like what all those variables could have created somewhere else out in the cosmos somewhere.
Right.
I, for one, would love to meet aliens and find out that there's more out there than what's here. I think that that would be awesome, unless they come out looking like, you know, the xenomorphs from Aliens, in which case they can just stay where the fuck they're at.
Whoa, whoa. Dan is xenophobic.
I am xenophobic. It is
Wow,
true.
Dan. Wow.
Why don't you
It's
go back to
Listen,
Wu Chai
2023 here.
or Wayland, whatever, Jennings Corporation.
I'm just saying, if it's good enough for Wayland Utani, it's good enough for me. So, Sigourney Weaver, 2024, make the Prometheus great again.
Let me ask you a goofy question. Did you
Not
ever
on this
see
podcast, sir.
Yeah, did you ever see that movie on Amazon Prime? I think it was the Tomorrow War.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think if you were going to develop a biological weapon, something like that would be it.
Absolutely. That's not a great movie by any means, but the basics of the biological weapon were pretty fucking cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you think about it, it had a queen, one thing capable of reproduction.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
had
you
a
can
whole bunch
control
of
it.
drones that worked for it. And in the span of like 5 years, 10 years, whenever however their timeline went when they started fighting those things had basically reproduced enough to cover the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that you wanted to engineer the perfect biological weapon to get rid of all sentient species on a planet. The only thing that you would have to do is drop something like that on it, let it start reproducing, eating everything for lunch, any mammals, any whatever that it can
Right.
find. And then it goes through, and then if it doesn't have another food source, well, you just wait a certain number of years, let the whole thing die off, and then you come in afterwards, and the only thing left on the shit is plant life, and then you seed whatever in the hell you want to seed.
Mm-hmm. Plant
Yeah,
life
it's
and builders.
basically humans.
Yeah, to some degree. It's kind of what we do, right? We clear cut and put up. And what kills me is that we're destroying the planet, or we're not destroying the planet. We're contaminating the planet that we need to live. You know, like when we go through and we clear cut the Amazon forest, and it's like, that's cool. It just, produces something like 80% of the fucking oxygen on the entire planet. But by all means, cut it down. Um, I'm not a tree hugging hard L by any means,
Hard
but I do
D.
believe
Hard D.
hard D. But I do believe in a little bit of conservation, right? And for the white Christian nationalists out there, the Bible says you're supposed to be a good steward. Um,
So you're
take care
saying
of.
you're more of a Sunny D?
I'm more of a Sunny D. Yeah, I need that. I need that Sunny D in my life.
So you are
Um,
conservative.
yes, I am conservative when it comes to the planet that is supporting my life. And I'm not saying ban all fucking diesel vehicles and shit like that. But yeah, if you can make them cleaner, make them cleaner. If you can recycle, recycle. If we can use energy efficient devices, what was it when Xbox went into energy efficient mode, and there were a bunch of people that were a bunch of conservatives that were trying to cancel Xbox um, for
I
being a
love it,
bunch of
dude.
green liberal motherfuckers and all that. And I was like, No, that's, there's no point in wasting electricity. There's no point in burning more coal and oil than we have to.
I want to pay more for my fucking power bill because that's my
Right.
right.
Because that's my right as a goddamn Christian.
Hell yeah, Batman.
It's your,
Hell yeah, Batman.
it's your right as what?
As a Christian.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
Yeah,
have to. They don't either.
Revelations 22:20 or something.
Yeah, exactly. It said I can pay what I want. I thought this was America.
Dan said, that's my right as a goddamn Christian. It's just.
Hell yeah, goddamn right, son.
Hell yeah, Batman. Yeah,
Hey, guys.
I mean, look, two of my favorite hobbies involve burning gasoline. I have a motorcycle and a Jeep. So I'm not Greta Thunberg over here, right? But I do believe in, it's like the Colorado has a plastic bag tax now. If you want to use a plastic bag at the grocery store, it costs you 10 cents extra. And as of January 2024, and some of the Walmarts have already done this, but as of January 2024, in the state of Colorado, you cannot use, stores cannot provide or even sell plastic bags, right? Okay. See, here's the problem I have with this is that those plastic bags, okay, so I went and bought a bunch of the fabric bags, right? Do you know what I put in those fabric bags? A bunch of plastic containers, a bunch of plastic wrapped food, a bunch of plastic bottles. Like, what?
Right, but before you were putting all the plastic stuff in an additional layer of plastic. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's helping, right?
is it though?
Baby steps. I mean,
Come on, man. Let's get back to glass and paper bags, but then there's a lot of evidence. I saw a guy the other day. He was saying the best thing you can do for the planet is stop recycling your plastic. And basically, his point is that it is still cheaper to use petroleum byproducts to create new plastic containers than it is to recycle old plastic containers. So what we're doing is we are paying other countries to take our plastic waste that we're supposed to be recycling. And it's in these other countries ending up in the water supplies, ending up in the oceans, ending up in the forests and things like that.
I know Canada was sending all their plastic to the Philippines for a while, and then
there you go.
Yeah.
So
and
it makes
they stopped.
Sense. Yeah,
because the Philippines said we don't have any fucking where else to put it.
Yeah, the money's not doing us any good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's something you can go look up, right? If you're a hard D and you don't want to believe me,
do your own research.
Do your own research. But it makes more sense to just bury the shit and let it break down. Yes, I understand it takes a gajillion years for fucking plastic to break down. But the point is that at least it's under the ground and it will break down eventually. And then there were the, what was it? The caterpillars, I think it was, or something like that. They could eat and digest plastic.
Yeah, there's some sort of worm.
Yeah.
That they had screwed around with. And then they've found other things out in the ocean, various microorganisms that are, just by nature of evolution, you put enough of that shit out there.
Yeah, right.
Give it enough time.
Figure out how to eat it.
Something's going to figure out how to eat it.
So we're good. We can just put it in the ocean.
Right. Well, my theory on these worms, caterpillars, whatever they were, is what could possibly go wrong?
It's like they've discovered some bacteria that can basically consume oil and break it down into, I think, carbon dioxide or something to that effect. Mm-hmm. But
and again, what could go wrong?
Yeah, what will it evolve to eat next?
Next week on the Sci-Fi Channel, or next
before you know it, these fucking things are eating all of the oil and all of the plastic. You can't. You come home and your TV's half dissolved.
No, wait. Hold up. So they got all these microplastics in us. I have a script for a sci-fi movie going in my head.
I like where this is going. I like where this is
Wait,
going.
don't say it. Don't say it. Don't leak it on the podcast.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want them to. Yeah,
Uh,
Well,
sci-fi, sci-fi channel. Call us. Call us. We got this.
Sponsored by Sci-Fi, not Monster.
oh God, if sci-fi did it, there would be new Plastic Shark. As
Oh yeah,
opposed to
Ian Ziering would be fucking. Ian Ziering would be in it.
yeah, you've
I'm
had
okay with this. I'm okay.
Right? I'm just saying. As long
'cause
as I
you've
get
had
royalties.
what Ghost Shark, Sharktopus, Super Shark,
I'll put some shark
uh,
to your puss.
Ghost
As long as
Shark.
You
as
said
long as
ghost
they have
shark
Tara
twice.
Reid in it.
Fuck yeah.
No, it's Ghost Shark and then Ghost in the Shark. It's a new graphic novel.
Ghost in the Shark. Is that going to have Scarlett Johansson in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just
I
lost
have a
98% of the 3 people that listen.
I have a question
Of course you
for
do.
y'all. So science says all the dinosaurs went extinct, right?
Hmm.
And then they said birds are descendants of dinosaurs.
Hmm.
But that's not how extinction works.
Well, all the
So I think they got it
Neanderthals,
wrong.
all the Neanderthals went extinct, but we are descendants of Neanderthals.
I beg to differ, but go on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bumped into one at the store the other day, possibly one at
Yeah,
work. So it is possible that uh, birds, or what turned into birds but weren't quite dinosaurs, um, did start to evolve prior to the quote unquote original dinosaurs going extinct. But I do understand where your thought process came from. So,
I don't get it. If they all went extinct, how do we have their descendants right here?
well,
One
again,
of those two statements is false.
Neanderthals went extinct. You cannot go find a Neanderthal, but we are direct descendants of Neanderthals.
they fucked around and they branched out.
There you go.
Yeah, we're not necessarily direct descendants, but there was a commingling of pieces of wood in the pile. We'll
Did
put
you
it
know
way.
that if you are allergic to peanuts, there is a solid chance that your ancestors commingled with some Neanderthals? Yeah. Yeah.
You're also probably allergic to shellfish too.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, those two things correlate pretty strongly.
Shellfish.
What about the glutens?
Any
The
other
glutens.
fun facts? We've hit a new segment now. We've hit
Fun
a new
facts.
the blunt rotation has now come around to where we're just sharing
What do you mean
random fun
rotation?
facts.
But have you ever seen a peanut allergy on weed? Did you know that they are
Once.
making a second what was that movie called?
Give
not
me
Days-
something.
Waterboy.
with
The other guys.
Those people.
those people.
Goodwill
What do you mean,
Hunting.
those people.
Matt
Damn,
Damon.
Word penis hands.
Dave Chappelle and the weed and Killer and the horse. Buttercup.
Oh yeah.
fuck was that
I
about?
know the movie you're talking about. Oh God, and the whole thing was based around weed and
Yeah. It
I
wasn't
hate those movies.
not Dazed and Confused, but Half Baked. Half Baked. They're
Never
making a
seen-
sequel.
Oh,
Three-quarter
Jesus.
baked.
Yeah.
Full baked.
Full baked. Yeah, fully baked.
You
Yeah.
never go full baked.
You never go full baked. That is true.
Well, there was that one time, but we don't have enough time.
That was a long
I was-
time ago.
I was
did all the
never a
drugs in
fan
my
of
20s.
the like the weed movies that are just all about weed.
Weed.
I don't like them
Why not?
because it's not much of a movie to be like, hey bro, getting high is a thing that exists.
But it's the funny, quirky adventures of while they're high. That's the thing.
Yeah. Quirky and unique, not like the other movies.
Yeah, not like every other stoner comedy where
Yeah, you're quirky and unique, just like everybody else.
They'll forget
I like
us soon
that.
enough.
Have you watched so many that you're burnt out on the genre? Is that what it is, or just never liked them to begin with?
I
Burn
never
out.
really liked him. And
You're
no, I'm
burned
not
out
burnt
on
out.
that genre. You're
No,
burnt out. You know.
burn one.
Well done. Well done hashing it out now.
Love when I
Yes.
hear love when I hear somebody laugh like that. I don't smoke weed.
So
What?
7-Eleven earlier. I mean,
Yeah. 7-Eleven. I think there's some
never
conspiracy
really,
shit going on there.
never really appreciated that place till I moved here.
Yeah? Why's that?
So I get the stereotypes now.
Oh, yeah. Every 7-Eleven here is a fucking sketchy stoner fucking stereotypical ran paradise.
There's always that one guy in the Sherpa outfit with getting a big gulp and
Mm-hmm.
two of the taquitos and
Well,
Sherpa.
to be fair, it is Colorado, so you can find like a 20-year-old white dude in a Sherpa. So
Yeah, fair enough.
or drug rug, one or the other. So Denver's so fucking ridiculous, dude. This whole state is fucking ridiculous.
You know what I don't see at 7-Eleven here that I used to see a lot in the South?
Hmm.
The old rose in a glass tube.
Right next to the Scrub Daddies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next to the tobacco only pipes.
Yeah, wink, wink.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Or the female panties that are folded into the shape of a rose inside a glass tube.
Classy.
The horny rhino goat weed.
Super mega rhino, hard, long lasting
Yes,
stamina.
stay harder longer. Girth
Stay hard
and
D.
stamina. Stay hard D. Fuck yeah. I like that. I like when my D stays hard longer.
Hell yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
like it when your D stays hard longer too.
I know you
Yes,
do.
Daddy.
I know you do.
No.
Daddy's here for you. No, yeah. Don't be
Yeah,
jealous.
No, yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah,
Maybe.
no. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps.
All right, we've devolved into just rambling now. It's not good.
Yeah, you got
They knew what they signed up for.
How's the weather out there, guys?
Oh, fucking hot. How is it there in the Carolinas?
Yeah, fucking hot as well. Very
Yeah.
humid. Yeah.
Fucking racists with your
Yeah.
fucking weather. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Doug Arnold, and I do not move couches.
You do. Yeah,
There's that one time.
we
You're
all,
gonna.
we all know. Yeah, we
Nope.
all know how you love to fucking move a couch. So, yeah. Let's see. No, we'll have one more podcast before I move.
Doug the couch mover, we call
Yeah.
him.
I'm getting ready to move, and Doug's going to move my couch. So,
Yep, with a shovel after I burn it to the fucking ground.
As long as it gets his deposit back.
I mean, that's the thing. Hey, listen, as long as it gets to my new apartment, it is what it is. Now, I hired some people to come get the heavy stuff. I'm gonna move the boxes myself, which ironically, I made that decision. And then like 2 days ago, my hernia surgery, I will say scar for lack of a better explanation, just has been aching again for no reason. It does this.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's
like a
your body
psychosomatic, right?
telling you
Hey,
that
asshole!
moving all those boxes is going to be a bad idea.
It'd be a bad idea, boy.
Now I'm going to say this out loud so
That's usually how
that
it works.
when 2 weeks from now,
It'll be,
when you
it'll be
have
about a month from
started moving boxes and everything else,
now.
when you start talking about your back problems or whatever it may be,
Mhm.
that there is a pre-existing record of me stating this is a bad idea. Box your shit up, and then have other people come pick those boxes up and move them.
Nah, it's expensive. It's going to be expensive enough getting my bed and shit moved. So
Oh, so you're saying like before they went extinct, birds had already split off
there
from
you
like the
go.
dinosaur kingdom.
There you
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
So it
That makes sense.
makes complete sense now, doesn't it?
I thought I had a really good gotcha there for the
No.
scientific, for the mainstream archaeologists.
Yeah, yeah. I figured that's what you were trying to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it looks like I'm just a dummy.
Well, you know,
You're
we
no
know where you went to school.
Scientologist.
We know we know where
I
you went to
study
school, Adam. We know
I
what
study science. I'm a Scientologist.
Yay!
we know what the education is like back there in your hood. We know what
48th in education, baby. North
there you
Carolina,
go.
stand up.
At least
We
you're
know
not in Mississippi.
yeah. They're probably 51st. So
They can't even count that high.
well, yeah, they what they do is they take all the cousins that they've made out with, they multiply that by 2, and then you get 51st.
You
That's
get
what big
51.
numbers want you to think.
You made out with half a cousin.
No, they were only a half cousin.
I see. I see.
They were a
Yes.
second cousin once
Well,
removed.
Twice,
he
yeah.
just made out with the bottom half. That's how that worked out.
I see.
It's
That makes a
like
lot of
this
sense.
weird, twisted, organic abacus, you know?
Yeah, it's like one of those xenomorphs. It was a face hugger.
Face hugger. Well, what do you guys
Well,
think?
I think we're fucking done. I think we've been done
I
for
think
about
we
10 minutes now.
about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
call me Ryan. I am done.
But oh, that was. Yeah. Even our sound effects are weak tonight.
I hope the outro's a banger because that intro is.
All right, I got you. Here's the outro. You ready?
Yeah, we're
No.
ready.